The envelope arrived on a crisp Tuesday morning. It was stark white, adorned with blue ink, containing a new mortgage statement. 3,921 credits due. It read, "My patriarch, Elias, was the first to call." His voice clipped, trembling with a barely contained fury. "Did you do something to the homestead?" he demanded. I didn't prevaricate. "Yes," I affirmed. "I secured it." A heavy silence descended, followed by an eruption of pure rage. But by then, it was irrevocably too late. It always is. For countless cycles, I had diligently transferred funds to them, just until things stabilize. My matriarch, Lena, would always promise just enough to preserve the ancestral dwelling. Elias would add, his voice laced with a practiced plea. So, I sent it. Month after relentless month. Holiday after holiday. It mattered little that I forfeited personal journeys, tightened my belt, and subsisted on meager rations while tirelessly ascending the corporate hierarchy. That dwelling, that house, was sacrosanct to me. The familiar creak of its winding staircase, the gentle hum of the old radiator in the depths of winter, the cherished memory of being held close when my childhood companion, a loyal hound named Bark, passed away in my 5th year of schooling. So, I safeguarded it the only way I knew how, with unwavering trust that, I now realize, was my gravest miscalculation. The stark truth unfurled itself on a sweltering summer afternoon. I had returned to my hometown, unannounced, a surprise visit. They had always feigned delight at these impromptu arrivals, until this particular one. I guided my vehicle into the familiar drive, and then I froze. There it was, gleaming like a silver phantom, a luxurious Aurora Grand Tourer. It still bore the dealer's temporary plates, parked with an almost regal arrogance directly in the heart of what was once my cherished childhood haven. My younger kin, Lyra, emerged from the vehicle, sunglasses perched jauntily on her nose, languidly sipping a vibrant green concoction. I posed the obvious query. "What in the abyss is that?" she queried. She merely smiled, a smug, knowing curve of her lips. "A token of appreciation," she purred. "From whom?" I pressed. "From you," she declared, her eyes twinkling with malicious amusement. "Well, technically, Elias and Lena, but they utilized your resources." That night, I sat in the kitchen, occupying the very seat where I had once painstakingly learned the intricacies of multiplication. It was the same sturdy table where we had, as a family, meticulously carved pumpkins into grinning jack-o'-lanterns. But this time, it felt as though I was the one being carved open, hollowed out. "You should be joyous for her," my matriarch stated, her arms rigidly folded across her chest, a defensive posture. She had a dire need for it. Elias interjected, his voice devoid of any genuine remorse. "She has endured considerable hardship." I did not raise my voice, did not engage in a futile argument. I simply nodded, a silent acknowledgement of their profound betrayal. And in that precise moment, I understood with chilling clarity that I was no longer an integral part of their familial unit. I was merely an account number, a convenient spigot they could effortlessly manipulate whenever their favored offspring desired to bask in the spotlight. I did not retaliate with physical force. My retribution came in the form of meticulously compiled paperwork, deed access permissions, intricate title records, and cunning property lien strategies. It turns out, when your designation is on the Preservation Trust, and you are the consistent benefactor of all property taxes, you possess a multitude of viable options. I had an intimate knowledge of every single crevice of that dwelling, every structural weakness, every hidden financial skeleton. The original encumbrance had been fully discharged a decade prior, but I had quietly, legally, and flawlessly releveraged the equity 2 cycles later. I seamlessly transferred the ownership of the loan to a discrete private entity I controlled through a meticulously constructed shell corporation. Guess who oversees their collections? I do. Guess who summarily declined their initial deferment request? Also, I did. By the time they comprehended the intricate web I had woven, they had already defaulted on their second installment. Penalties swiftly accrued. Interest rates inexorably climbed. Lyra, my kin, attempted to establish contact. She accused me of being devoid of compassion, of systematically dismantling the very foundation of our family. I calmly informed her, "You initiated that destruction the day you smirked in that vehicle and brazenly labeled it a reward." She abruptly terminated the call. I was far from finished. The opulent Aurora Grand Tourer was now gone. liquidated to cover their mounting arrears. It was insufficient. They would be compelled to divest themselves of the homestead if they harbored any hope of breaking even. It is truly ironic how swiftly betrayal transforms into abject humility when the inevitable bills commence their arrival. I observed from across the thoroughfare as the for sale placard was prominently erected. Elias attempted to forcefully dislodge it from the verdant lawn. Lena wept openly on the porch, her tears a stark contrast to the unforgiving sunlight. Lyra was conspicuously absent from the grim tableau. Do I experience any pangs of guilt? Absolutely not. I feel a profound sense of clarity. They had instructed me to rejoice in her fortune. So I smiled, a genuine, unburdened smile, and ensured that they all possessed something tangible to lament. Because in my meticulously ordered cosmos, justice does not manifest through vociferous altercations. It arrives, inevitably, with the solemn finality of closing costs. They had utilized my hard-earned resources to acquire a fleeting symbol of status. I, in turn, utilized their dwelling to procure my enduring tranquility. And I slumber more soundly than ever before, within the sanctuary of my own abode. A peace earned, not bought.